I think it died and it just basically went into a timeout because these are basically wireless keyboard and mouse which go into these timeout periods. They're save and reserve the battery. So I want to either try to. Well, first things first. My name's Kenneth Bird, and I'm going to start a new channel called PC Crazy PC. Well, Crazy PC. I think I put it in. I'm not sure. Whatever. We'll probably change it later on, but we're going to call it Crazy PC Builds and Screens because we're going to be developing some really crazy screens around some of these custom built PCs because might as well get back into it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still doing screen paints. Oh, heck yeah. We built our company around screen paints, but got back into building PCs because I haven't built one in a while. Because we have this gamer paint that we developed, FRE, dedicated Apex Gamer. So I find myself more ordering parts for PCs. So I'm thinking, oh shoot, we're back in. We're building PCs again now. So might as well just get ready, get a new channel, and build it under some of these crazy machines we got working on. I was literally out with family yesterday. I'm like, we're going to end up building another PC. We got 5 pieces we're building. We only needed one. We're up to 5 now. I actually ordered 2 motherboards last night. So I got the motherboard for the work PC over here. It's going to turn into the ice box. Finally found a Coca-Cola bottle. Sheesh, I had to go all the way up to Whitehall with my family to a supermarket to get one. Where's the free copyrighted music? Come on now, we got it on here. Oh man, seriously. But anyway, so I'm going to build a submersive PC in a micro case. So I found out that they have these boards called ITXs. Let's get this, hold on. I have it there every single time, and we just don't have it there today. I don't know why it's not there. Well, off music. There we go. There we go. So I'm in there with family, and we went to a dollar store, and man, I don't know why I didn't buy the case. It was right there in front of me. So I said, man, I'm not going to do anything with this. No sooner than I get back in the car, and I get back to the home front, it popped in my head like, convert that case into a submersible micro PC hookup, which would be amazingly insane, and it wouldn't cost a lot of money. Mind you, all the builds we're doing are super cheap. Um, Basic build we're doing is basically i5 processor, 16 gigs of RAM. Video cards roughly somewhere between like the 1050 or 1650. Nothing really big boss, just some basic PC. Uh, 2 terabytes of hard drive space, or either 1 terabyte of solid state. At the end of the day, I'm doing something crazy to it, so I'm just experimenting with this unit at the end of the day. Solid state is an interesting memory stick, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't use a disk like a hard drive. A hard drive uses a disk. You can only do so much with them things. Your disk stops running, your hard drive stops working. But these things, on the other hand, are not so. So there's so many interesting ways that you can actually modify that piece of stick of memory. So I got some pretty interesting ideas that I want to test on it. I'm working with the Dells, trying to figure out how to get around that overriding the system so I can run other parts on it, because right now the Dells are very temperamental with that, and it's not a hardware issue, it's a program issue. And good thing I program, so I'm going to go in there in BIOS and figure a way how to trick the motherboard to believe that the parts are actually there, but they're not there. No coding and whatever I have to go through to get that done, but pretty sure I can figure it out. But anyway, and on top of that, we're going to build some pretty cool screens. Some cool screens. These screens are going to go smaller screens with portable projector hookups. Doing a kind of a prop design for the steampunk and Fallout design. I want to get this retro radio with the old-fashioned TV setup display, and use that as a kind of a prop for another design I want to do for steampunk and and what do you call it, steampunk and Fallout. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. And soon I'll be working on my screen. Cardboard screen will be gone. Got a 100-inch edgeless fixed frame screen coming. I've had one of those before. I'm going to build it, assemble it, set up over there. Two nice bookcases. Two nice bookcases are going to come with these screens. I'm going to install in for rear projection. I'm picking up two of the LG portable ultra short throw projectors so I can display fish tanks through my screen. On top of that, the edgeless is going to have a halo system on it, wrap around 100-inch. And then over here we got this monster screen we're going to be installing, and pretty soon that one has to be custom built. So I have to break that thing down so I can put it back together. Easy assemble, easy put back together. So imagine that, building a screen. You can take the whole thing apart, put it inside of a bag, and put it all back together again. That's really what we're going to build. That coating requires a different type of coating for that one right there. So we're actually designing the coating for that. Now, each one of the screens that we're engineering for these PC builds, they're basically customized screen paints. They're colored. We need the same color to be able to match the screen. And like I said, we worked with color paints before with our technology to get the screen to produce high white levels, color contrast, because then we're going to have contrast shifting capabilities, so that comes in handy in that situation. One of the PCs we're going to be working on soon after this one's done. I got time to build the i9. An i9 system, I can actually build it in between as I'm actually. I got to collect parts for that thing because it's very expensive to put that thing together. It's not a cheap unit. We're finding out, like I thought it was going to be around in the 1,500 range, we're like $3,000 to put that thing together. So I'm going to be buying parts for what I need. I just am stacking them up in a corner for what I need to get for that. And in between that, we're going to be building these smaller builds, which are much easier to do. They're like a $200, $250 build. So as I said before, basic build, i5 processors, maybe an i7, but mostly i5s, and they're going to have 16 gigs. 16 gigs is pretty much all you need for like basic gaming. On top of that, do you need an i9 for gaming? Actually, no, you don't. You can use an i7. It's perfectly enough. It's higher i7, but yeah, you don't need a i9. It's just pretty i9 is just going to basically brag or basically just have all maxed out settings, which that's what I need with the other processor. It'd been nice if I'd have got the board with dual. For some reason, I can't find that thing because I've been looking all over the place for it, and I can't find a dual board, but I can find one for an i7. But I can't find one for that one, so that's curious. I may have to call the company and find out. But anyway, like I said, let me get back to the basic specifications of the PCs we're building. So basically, i5 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes to 1 terabyte solid state drive, RAM, of course, 16. You don't need any more than that. And all the systems will have liquid cooling. Of course, I'm a big fan of liquid cooling, so yeah, everything's going to be attached with liquid cooling. Liquid cooling radiator system will be modified. I always modify my liquid cooling radiator system. The system's about to go through modification pretty soon. And in the ice box over here, we're going to do a mini submersive. So the motherboard I'm looking at is a mini IT. It's an IT. Make sure I get this ITX. So ITX board. Yeah, it's a mini ITX. So by accident, I ordered one of these and didn't know it. I thought I had a micro, but actually I had an ITX board. ITX. I'm sure we're saying this correctly. Let me see. Make sure we're saying this correctly. But anyway, just a smaller version. Now look at the smallest board we can get, because this case we're going to be doing the submersive in is pretty small. I think it's IX or whatever. ITX case. Yeah, ITX. So basically, this is a mini ITX we're picking up. I have an ITX over here in that case, and I'll show you. It's pretty small. Because I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute. That thing's smaller than the other one. That can't be micro. I thought that was a micro. Then I looked on my receipt and it said ITX. I was like, oh shoot. I actually was trying to get these buildings. I finally got one. I bought one by accident. So then I saw something called mini ITX. I want something even smaller for this case that I saw. We're going to make a little tiny submersive fish tank setup. We're not going to use a fish tank. We're going to buy a Tupperware container, because that's a container I saw that I liked. We're going to put in a 100mm liquid cooling system, of course, with the dual fan setup and fan speeders to speed up some RPMs, make them nice and fast. We're definitely going to drop in a video card in that. Basic video card, nothing expensive. Basic, like I said, same thing I have over here, 1050. Probably use the 1050 in here because this PC over here is going to be upgraded, maybe with the i7, and I'm definitely going to be putting in 1660s in there, so that one's definitely going to be upgraded to a much bigger card. Do we need it? No, but we're just going to have it in there anyway because why not? The other one, we're going to take the 1050 and stick it in the submersive unit because it's small, it's low power, it's not big, it'll fit in the case perfectly. And we had to get a special power supply because again the power supply I have here is not going to fit in there at all, period. So I had to go and get this power supply, which is enough to run that. It's about 300 watts. It'll run it perfectly with no problem. The Dell's ran on 240, so we have enough power to run that. And they ran the i5s on it with no problem whatsoever at 240 watts, which this one's running right now at 240 watts on the power supply and an i5 processor. But anyway, and yeah, 1050 graphic card. GTX, we're going with 1050 graphic card. So we're going to have all that in there, and I'm going to have some, I'm planning to put in some little rocks for, the fish tank. Definitely going to put in a submarine. Oh, I've been dying to do a submarine, like a sinkage of a submarine. Finally found one online with the lights blinking on it and everything. All that'll run on investor oil with no problem whatsoever. But we have to build all that because I have to make sure that the submarine's going to stay submerged in the water so it can drill holes into it so it can fill up with oil so it stays put. And we're going to have to put some kind of a pipe cleaning clear system on it. So basically it looks like it's actually crashing into something, or basically it's halfway into the ocean or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But something pretty cool to do with it. And yeah, the whole thing is going to be under vegetable oil. It's a little tank. It's actually the same size as the monitor. It's literally the same size as the monitor. So what we're going to do with that, we're going to use that liquid aqua blue technology we're working on for designing like virtual fish tanks, and we're going to make a screen out of that. So a little small screen, nothing big. It'll fit nicely over top, and build a contraption where it actually slides and it fits over top this little case, and put a projector behind it. So basically, I can basically do my program or whatever I want right through, or watch movies right through that little screen. It is going to have a little mini keyboard and mouse with it, all completely wireless. It's going to be sick looking. I can't wait. I'm going to have it on display. So I'm not really going to use it. I'm just going to build it, set it up, put a little display, show a little video through it, maybe some fish or something while you're looking at this thing submerged. And I got to backlight it because I have to blacklight. I got black lights coming in for it and blue because everything in there is going to be painted with a glow in the dark kind of fluorescent paint, so that way it all picks up real nicely. So it should come out really nice. Can't wait to build that thing. And of course, yeah, we have the Sugar Plum Fairy, which we're going to be working on too also. Too. That's another case I want to work on. So I'm just going to get me a nice rack over here and just start stacking my PCs up there. So let me see. Many. I was supposed to go on YouTube and get that. I really forgot to get that. Mini ITX case or motherboard. Let me tell you, ITX motherboard. Here we go. I wanted to go on YouTube and see how small this thing was. Pretty sure it should fit in there. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, he's giving up. No, we haven't given up on screen paint. I do so much stuff literally in my day. We could make multiple channels. I literally just could have made a channel based on how to build projection screen setups, because we do a lot of those. How to build customized frames, LED lighting applications. We work with so many different forms of LED lights. It's not even funny. How to buy projectors on eBay. Literally have done tutorials on teaching people on how to buy projectors on eBay. Very easy to do. Not easy to do. It's a bit tricky. It is a bit tricky. You definitely can get ripped off, or you can get something fantastic at the end of the day. You just have to know how to look for it, especially when it comes to venues. You have to know the difference between your venues. You can have 8 projectors. They all can look exactly the same, but every last one of them will be different. You just have to know which one's which. Got to read that lens. Got to read that lens. Can't read the lens correctly, you may be getting something else. So we got ATX. Mini ATX. I want to just see how small this thing is. Micro. I heard of the baby. They used to have a baby ATX board. I wonder if they still make those things anymore. Baby ATX board. And baby ATX board. There it is. People say, there's no AT board. Like there's no such thing as that. Yeah, they're really small boards. Baby AT motherboard. I'm gonna track one of those down so you can stick that into something tiny and small. It'd be pretty cool. I'll go back over here because I want to see how small this board's gonna be. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna fit definitely with no problem. If the board is actually that small, that is definitely gonna fit. Wow, I think it's gonna be tiny. It's gotta be tiny to fit. Oh, submarine. So the name of that PC is going to be called Ocean Deep 6. That's what we're going to call it. RTX motherboards that I can put my hands on from the likes of Asus, ASRock, Gigabyte, and MSI. In total, there are just 4 brands, of course, 4 main brands. It's a tiny board. From AliExpress, so we could look at them in the future. But anyway, 4 brands, just 8 motherboards across the entire AM5 platform. That is, of course, the RTX motherboards. There's really not that many of them. And Core is supported by 5 55 amp power stages, so that should be more than enough power for the likes of the Ryzen 7 X3, for example. Then, as you'd expect, there's no PCIe 5 Pro support, which is fine, though disappointingly, there is just a single M.2 slot with 2 SATA ports. The USB support is limited to just half a dozen USB 3.2 ports, 5 USB 2.0 ports, but you do Wi-Fi. Wow, I think it's super small, man. That's going to fit the case nicely. My main concern is it's going to fit the case. Usually we build a case, build the PC around the case. We have to do it the opposite way around on this one. This case has to be tiny and small. I mean, really small. In order for me to do the liquid cooling setup on it. That board is absolutely perfect. So since we're using let's see. We're using 1155 board. 1155 board, that's what we're going to be using. 1155 socket, that's what we're going to be using. And we're going to be using those because, again, they're cheap boards. I got that board for like $28. That's it. That is going to be a freaking sick build on that one. So I can't wait to start working on that one right there all together. That's going to be a really, really nice setup. And we're going to be a chance to test off that liquid blue technology. This is also, too, a nice prop we'll be building. So when our investors come in to check out our technology, they can basically see this build. Now, keep in mind, we have to explain to some people, because we do have some people on our channel that are very immature, and they do have a habit of coming on here and just doing dumb stuff. They're kids at the end of the day, yet excuse them, they have mental issues. So let me just explain this to you. They're on the channel right now. So, to you people who have mental issues that come on my channel because you have nothing better to do, let me explain something to you. Popping in and out of the channel, again, does not affect me. Everything we do is documented. That's why we have it here. It's documentation. That's why I can go back into my archives. I can dig anything up I want because everything was done to be documented. That's it. Period. All right? So I think you think that for some reason in the back of your adolescent mind that you're probably annoying me, but you're not. All right, people, we're going to move on from there. All right, we get one. People get them in their channels every day. They're weird. Anyway, this is actually a pretty sick board. So I got to get a case to put this in. Something told me I should have bought the case. It was right there staring me in the face. It was only $2. Should have purchased it. Now I got to spend freaking 36 bucks to go to take a lift all the way up to Whitehall to pick up a $2 case, which I'm going to need because it's going to fit perfectly for this setup. So I can't wait to do this. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Okay, so basically, roughly what's going to cost me to do this whole setup, case is $2, motherboard's $36, a CPU processor i5s, which are really cheap, they're like 40 bucks. And when you got the wholesale license, all they get is cheaper. Anyway, power supply is only $34. Yeah, because it's only a 300 watt power supply, so that's going to cost me a lot. We're not taking it apart, just we'll put oil on top of it, so you can just leave it the way it is. Let's see, RAM is only around $16 because it's cheap for RAM for this particular motherboard. Let's see, motherboard screws. Yeah, we need screws for the motherboard because We literally have to build. Well, do we have the switches on this thing too? Yeah, because you understand, you're putting in your own case. You don't have motherboard switches. You don't have hard drive legs, none of that. You'll be installing all that yourself. Break out your soldering gun, get cracking, Jackson, because that's what you're going to be doing. Because we're building a whole entire case from scratch. There's no wiring and all that. You'll be doing all that yourself. That's why I paid to know this stuff. All right, so that's pretty tough. It's easy to do it. And then besides, they made it much easier now because now you can just go on Amazon and go power switch for a case, and it literally has the power switch with the headers on it for the case. But back in the day, you're gonna make a trip to Radio Shack. Let me see. So that's the motherboard screws. We need to actually lock this thing in. It has to hang a different way. So you're using Tupperware to build this. Even if you're using a fish tank, you're still going to have to figure out how to attach a board to a fish tank. This is where things get interesting. So it's not hard to do. Where your holes are at in your motherboard, do we have a motherboard sitting around here somewhere? Oh, we do have one. We have one in the box we got to put back together for a test unit. Let's go grab that one. Yeah! Gotta put that back together today. So let's get a look at that. This is a micro ATX board. All right. Let's get into this right here. So your motherboard, most likely, if you're going to do a tank that involves liquid cooling, you're going to be this way instead. Because you're going to have to cut ports at the very top. So when your container, you're going to have to cut a little hole in the top where you can actually get access to all these ports up here. This is where you put in extenders in. The extenders allow you to be able, this is going to be submerged in vegetable oil, but your extender is going to be able to operate. Even if it's plugged in, it's still going to operate. Some people feel it halfway to here, but you might just go all the way up. You're not really going to damage anything at the end of the day. Besides, your graphic card is going to be completely submerged in. RAM and all that stuff is all going to be completely submerged in. All these chips are going to be soaked in there too. So you're not going to damage anything, but you get the extenders. Now I want to make mine completely wireless. Most of them, the ones I designed, basically went from a hard line, but we're going to basically make it completely wireless. And we don't want the wireless adapter in there, so we're going to get an extender to bring the adapter down here, so we can basically plug it in from there, like a USB extender, so we can plug it in from there. So that's basically about it. But the problem you have is how are you going to get this thing to sit into a tank that doesn't have the motherboard screws? Well, you see these two little holes that you have? See? Make sure you don't mess that up because we have to use this board. So you see these little holes right here for your motherboard screws? What you're going to do is you're actually going to put some nuts and bolts through there, and you're going to put a hook system that goes like this. So nuts and bolts go through here, has a little hook system, and that allows you to lift up the board and hook it to the side of your case without using motherboard screws. And it kind of just hangs there. The whole thing's going to be under vegetable oil anyway. So that's how we're going to do that right there. I've done all of mine exactly the same way, just like that. There we go. Get your butt back in here. All right. I'm going to have this sealed down. Should have that sealed down. Screwdriver and tools that probably in the box. That means I gotta go pick up a toolbox now. For all my electronic stuff, so I'm going back into the field. Now, just for a notice, because I know naysayers get up there and go, oh my goodness, I mean, he must be getting... No, are you crazy? You know, technology we develop in a day, there's something else more for us to do, because I get bored sometimes. No, we're still developing screen paint. We're still continuing to keep crushing you. We have no problem with that. Or come up with some dumb excuse by saying, oh, he finally realized his product. What? Now we're going to continue to crush you. Matter of fact, I just launched a bunch of videos a few minutes ago. Talking about great paints ain't even worth the time. I got to do a demonstration test on every site that I go to. We're going to do those demonstrations just like that. A big impact. I mean, this is a lot of money. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, I even bought that. So, we're going to be hooking up some pretty cool stuff. And I had a hunt for a submarine that was going to fit inside of the tank. Yeah, because that tank is pretty small. But that's how you put all that in. That right there, oh my goodness, man, that's gonna be so much fun to play around with it. I should start using those from now on. Because we do a lot of artwork and designs inside of a tank. That would be fantastic because we got so much room to add so much stuff in. Because the motherboard is so small. So I think I'm just gonna start using the mini ITXs or ITX motherboards from now on. If I'd known about the mini one, I would have purchased it. And then people saying, well, you thought you knew what you were doing. I haven't done PC in a while. In a long while, like a couple of years. It's chalking up to 5, maybe. I haven't done anything at all. So I had to update myself on all the new hardware. And since all my technology and my gift came from God, that didn't take any time at all. Not so fast update on everything. I told you I got blessed me at the end of the day. Any part that I look at, I already know how to work it. I even know how to modify it just from the door. I know how to take these things apart and modify them that fast. I got that tank that we're building. It's going to have something interesting on it. It's going to have something that no one's ever did on YouTube. It's going to be actually wild. And if it works, and it's good, it's going to change the way you see blah, blah, blah. And any blah, blah, blah way of blah, blah, blah. I can't tell you what it is. But it's going to be sick. I still can't figure out why when we first started off, why people took fans off PCs because they were liquid cooled. They're not going to run. They never run. What happens if you got a fan control on? They don't run. They slow down. They stop. The lights just keep going. That's all. You haven't got to remove them. I wouldn't mess around the power supply if you don't know what you're doing. Mess around and get a good jolt of electricity pushed through you. You don't have to take any fans off. It's just fan. All the lights going to operate. It's just the fans are eventually will stop moving. And the biggest mistake, I get around with that. Why is this even here? Can we even call for this? No. And the biggest mistake that you'll make if you're doing vegetable, mineral oil, or baby oil submersible PCs, which do exist, and people do it. At a nut shop, contact me and say, people don't submerge PCs on the vegetable oil. I'm just weird. Man, I tell you, it does not pay to live under a rock. Got to come out once in a while, stretch your legs, see how to go work kicks. But anyway, hey, what are you doing? Let's go get it. People submerge them because it's a fascination of knowing that this thing is actually running under vegetable oil and you can't get electrocuted. You can stick your hand in there all you want. Hey, you can hold the power supply. You can't get electrocuted, which is insane, but it's carrying a current underneath there, which is insane. You do it with water, you're going. You showed out all your parts and everything. The vegetable oil, nope. And I don't know who the first person who started that, which I'm glad they did do it. I'm glad they did take the chance to go out and do it. I love watching cats trying to problem solve things. Did you get it? Where's it at? It went in pretty deep, right? Let's see. Oh, it's there, man. There we go. Yeah, it's there. It's right there, man. It is so faithful way. But yeah. I don't know who came with the idea, but thank you so much for taking the chance and doing that. Because, man, I would have freaked out. It's crazy. The first time I did it, I was freaking out. My heart was racing 100 miles an hour on dropping. And you have to, most people turn them off. Mine was on. So it really doesn't make a difference, but it's freaky to watch, man. So it's funny because my buddy pops up his head into my room and says, hey, man, if you die, can I have all your stuff? I'm not taking it anywhere with me. Yeah, that's insane. Takes a lot of oil, too, and it's not cheap. The cheapest I could go is vegetable oil, and you have to have a special kind of oil. You can't use all right, you can use regular oil, but it's best to go with Crisco Light. Because you do want to see your components as they're running. You won't go anything dark or murky. You won't be able to see your stuff. But Yeah, crystal light actually worked better for me than I did mine. Does it give off a smell? No, not really. It doesn't give off a smell at all, period. Got that a lot in comments, like, does it give a smell? It doesn't. Your machines last far longer. But the problem what most people are having is when you drop vegetable, remember the heat has to go somewhere. And when you're using intake outtake fans, and what I have here, the heat has to go somewhere. You have to direct it somewhere. The problem with the submersive tanks is the heat has nowhere to go. It's just in there, just circulating in circles. So it's building up. So technically, you're cooking your stuff. That's where the liquid cooling system comes in at. The liquid cooling, the most heat you're going to get off your stuff, most likely the CPU doesn't really generate too much heat, but when it comes to the CPU, it generates a ton of heat. And that's why I put a liquid cooling system on my system to cool it down. And if you notice, if you've seen any of my freezer boxes where basically I had them submerged in vegetable oil, my temperature was 17 Celsius. Straight run. The highest it could go was probably around 23, and this is overclocked. And the reason I figured all that out, because the radiator system, instead of having one fan, I had two fans on it. On top of that, the fans that came with it, stop fans, I got rid of them. I got fans with much higher RPMs, and I got a fan speed controller to speed up the RPMs. Ta-da! And you want to make sure you spend the money for really good thermal paste. Do not go cheap on your thermal paste, because you will pay for it if you go cheap on your thermal paste. I like the Arctic. That's my favorite. That's all I use. I've used that for everything. But anyway, let's get back to the other stuff to find more interesting. Bam, bam, bam. I'm picking that screen up right there. Boom, I'm buying that. Boom, boom. I have one of these already. I purchased it already. This is the Elite screen. It's actually made by Elite Screen. It's a different company, still by Elite Screen. This is the Edgeless. This will have all gaming technology applied to it. It's going to look absolutely amazing. Yes. In with this screen, we should show it versus certified technology, as in the more higher upgraded certified screens versus our technology, which our technology we'd overpower because we constantly do it all the time. That's it. And if we put a gray screen against it, which we're making our own mix at the end of the day, much better than this other stuff they have out there. We want a more high efficient screen paint to put against our own product because I want to be on demonstration. A splatter screen has massive impact. It's crazy when you see this little square black up there and you see one side gray and one side white and it's not doing anything. That's what I like about the video we did in the basement. We have one whole 100-inch screen, one half white, one half gray, and we just have this little piece of black in the middle. And you can just see so much more from that one little spot than those two screens on each side. I told you from the door that gray and white screens are not ambient light rejection. They have the highest you can go, which I find it interesting, on a gray screen is a 2.0. That's it. Can't go any higher than that. And a white screen can do a 2.0. You do the math on that one. It's the same thing. I get into these arguments. I go into these sites where they have all gray screens, and they literally talk about how they pick up contrast, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't see contrast. Stop saying black levels. Literally stop saying that, and stop saying it. You don't see black levels. And you'll see perfect cops. Turn your lights on. And they get all mad at me when I say turn your lights on. Here comes the comments. Oh, projection screens were meant to be used in a well-lit environment. You're better just use it in the dark. Yeah, that's where you have to be at, buddy boy. And guess what? Your stuff don't even work in there either. Yeah, send me your stuff over. I'll show you it doesn't work. I'll put you through some testing your stuff has never been through before, and I guarantee you will fail all of it. Your stuff doesn't work. You're outdated. It's an outdated product. It's gray screen. White screens are needed because they're cheap to paint over. There is no way in the world I'm going to spend an extra $100 for a gray screen, motorized or fixed frame, that I got to paint over anyway. I'm buying a fixed frame screen. You think I'm going to buy that thing in gray for what? I'm going to pay more money for it. I'm going to pay that's $184 for 100-inch because it's edgeless. That's why it costs more. But if I got that in gray, that's going to cost me probably about $100 more because it's in gray. So why in the world am I painting over it, getting the gray just to paint over it anyway? It's no purpose for the gray screen. Is it going to advance it? No, it's not. I've had this conversation with multiple people all the time, and they say, well, if I get it in gray and I paint it black, this is not going to advance jack at all, period. Just get it in the cheapest color you can get, and that's white. And that's the reason why the white screen serves the purpose, because it's a cheaper screen to paint over. But if it's gray, well, that's just your problem. But anyway, our screens that we're going to be developing for all the gaming PCs are front and rear technology because they have to be. We need projectors to stand behind them. That's why. That board is that small. Man, it's going to be an easy hookup. Man, that thing is tiny. I knew they were small. I didn't know they were that small. All right, we got the little power supply to go with them. Hook screws. We need fish bubble unit to blow the bubbles up so you can see the bubbles. Bubbles will push through that oil, especially the light. It'll push right through that unit with no problem. I built them. I got them on my channel. We need rocks. We need glow-in-the-dark plants. We definitely need that. That little stick right there. The UV lights with Molex adapters. Very easy to hook up with the Molexes. Nuts, bolts, and screws, keyboard, network, USB, an extender, and that's pretty much it. And Windows 11, because I got to update all the systems to Windows 11 because they're all running 10 and they all have to be updated to Windows 11. So we have to get all that done. And in the process of me doing all that and building my PCs on the side, I mean, pretty much it takes us 20 minutes to develop technology. So, you know, we got spare time to go out and build other stuff besides that. And stuff wraps around the gaming technology we have coming up because we still have Sugar Plum Fairy in that product line. We have the Leviathan in that product line coming out. We got some high gaming screens we're going to be working on pretty soon. We're on the i9 technology. We're going to be working on that whole monster PC. There's an actual customized limited edition screen that will be designed for that particular item. It's one of the rare editions. So it's a special screen I'm working for myself for my i9 setup, but it's part of the Legendary Collection. So 5 of these are made of mine. Yeah. But anyway, oh, the cases are sick. So the cases basically activate a light system. So when you open them up, this little light that comes up and they open up. It's pretty sick. Yep. They're gonna cost a bit, but yeah, it's gonna be definitely worth it if you can get your hands on one. That's what it comes down to. If you can get one. Let me see. All right, so I'm digging this. That board is super small. I was trying to curious how small this is going to be. This would definitely fit in the case we want. And we need a smaller case because, yeah, that vegetable oil fill-up is a freaking expensive. And vegetable oil is much more expensive now. But back then, it was like something between like $5 a gallon. And I had needed something like about, I needed 7 or 8 of them to fill a tank up, a big tank. So it was like, yeah, vegetable oil. Anyway, and those tanks are heavy? Yeah, they're super freaking heavy. Are you kidding me? Them tanks are super heavy. So I had to transport those things one time. I moved and had to transport that tank to another place. And you definitely don't want a glass a fish tank. And the fish tank was glass, and glass fish tank, bumping back and forth in the back of a U-Haul truck with all your stuff back there. Because man, if this thing cracks open, we can have oil everywhere. So how I had to do it was I had to get a giant container and I had to pad the inside of it, which means I had to foam it. So the foam would mold to the fish tank. I had to get a foam for it. And once I sprayed the foam inside of it, it molded nice to the fish tank. I can knock the fish tank in place so it's not bumping all over the place. And then I had to put another piece of plastic on the top of it and seal that off. And then I had to seal off the top of the tank. I had to pull all the wires and everything off, disconnect everything else. So it's an open area, so I had to remove that and then buy another lid that actually fit that tank and put that on top of it with light rubber cement so I can get it off. Yeah, it was an interesting little process. And yeah, it was heavy where my ex had to grab one side, I grabbed the other side, and we had to load 3 of them onto the truck. Oh, that was fun. That was real fun. Yeah. Yeah. And then there was extra rags and stuff around it, just in case if any of it leaked out, they would soak all that up. So it was in a giant container anyway. But yeah, it was interesting. And then mind you, she went to work. So I had to carry those things up a flight of stairs and set them things up. Yeah, they were freaking heavy. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my Clementine. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's funny because when I was doing the liquid cooling, we got not one person that was on the channel when I was building this thing said that's weird. No one does that. Not one person. You know why? Because those people were educated. They know exactly people were doing this stuff, and that's why we were doing it, because other people were doing it. We just get that one person that just, okay. Anyway, we're going to get a lot of those dummies. We are. We're going to, all the crazy stuff we're going to be building and putting together, we always get those idiots that come in and go, oh, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. That's not, I couldn't imagine what your world is like. It must be horrible. Couldn't imagine. There must be a lot of walls up there. It's like a maze, but no way out. All right, let me see. Can't dream outside the box. Do you dream? Let's see. No, can't you run in there? You can't run your hard drive. That's not going to happen. That's going to go bye-bye. You can't run an optical drive, which I have no idea why people are still using them. I stopped using optical drives a long time ago. I barely ever touched the one I have over there. I just disconnected it and put it someplace else. It used to be if you did remove those things, you would get all kinds of error codes that pop up, but you really don't need them anymore. Everything's all flash drive. The operating system, we got a Windows 11, it's on a thumb drive, so lock it in and we're done. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling. I forgot to put in black screen because we're the only one with a black screen outside at 180 inches. Yes, sirree, buddy. Yes, sirree. Well, I tell you, I just gotta add this in here real quick because I have to. It just makes me giddy. I've seen people come, and I've seen people go. I must have seen so many versions of black screen paints pass through my eyes of people claiming to have the best product, and they never last. Same thing every single time. They never, ever last. It ain't the first, it's not the last. I'll see more of them, but they never last. And they pop up with no testing. They pop up with fake specifications. They pop up with fake lies, thinking that they can cheat the system and pretty much try to take out the original, which will be us at the end of the day. And they never last long. They never do. Yep. It ain't the first time. It ain't going to be the last time. Some other guy will probably pop up saying, hey, I got a paint better than yours. And it'll be the same process. We'll come and buy from them. They'll cancel out. They'll put the money back in our account. This ain't the first time this happened to us. This always happens to us. You think these two are the only people who ever cancel out and put money? We had lots of people do that. Put money back in our accounts. I had one guy ship me a paint without the label on it. No label on the can at all, period. You know why? Because he didn't want his label showing up next to our technology. Yeah, the only reason why, we go out after you is you just running your mouth too much. Run your mouth, we don't care. Nothing to do. But yeah, I seen him come and I seen him go. Ain't nothing new. So no, ain't a surprise he didn't last long. And they'll probably wait. They wait a while usually, and then they come out with another name of something, and that fails, and they come back again, and it's the same thing. That's it. All right, I'm not going here. I don't want to go there. I want to go here. I want to go here. Let's do it. Over the 10,000 mark already? Jeez. Yeah, we over on that. We way past that pretty soon. We got a lot of stuff. YouTube channel. I think I might make that YouTube channel. I'm swapping out. I don't even know what I want to do with that YouTube channel at all, period. And I think I might make it on some strictly crazy PC builds. Because I got a whole community I can lock right back into working PC builds. I was doing that before I got into this part. Crazy PC builds and screens. Oh, that's what it's called. Yes. So I had a whole lineup of people I was into that at the end of the day. So I might go back into that. Contact some of my own PC buddies like, yo, man, I'm coming back in. You coming back in? I'm coming back in. Yep. Let me see. I never did a baby oil. Baby oil is really expensive. It's super expensive. Mineral oil is another one super expensive. Let's see. Oil. PC. Yeah. Best oil PC. 17 Celsius drop. Boom. Kaboom. Can you run a camera underneath there? Yeah, it don't last long. I did one already for experimental purposes. The PC community. How to build and modify your own props. That's what we're building right now. We're building props. Like we're going to pretty soon. We're going to be building the props for the screen we got done there. Going to build a retro TV and hook that into a radio. Take that apart, modify that to make it look like aged and been there for like centuries. Get some exposed wiring, some fake tubing, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Old retro tubes and stuff. Make it look really old. Put it into a prop. See, fan stops running. So we don't need this anymore. Optical drives not needed. This is a cooling system you need for your hard drive. You drop those on there, and as you've seen how the case is opened here in the front, yeah, there you go. So you can get access to all of that. All your peripherals are at the top. At the top, and there's my graphic card right there. Submerged soaked in the bubbly. In the bubbly. Dual fan system hookup. With the new one, the submerged tank we're going to build, the small one is tiny. So we're going to have a submarine in there. Man, we haven't even dropped fully back into PC, and they're already hating on my PC builds already. Be careful opening your mouth. Say something the wrong way, they can embarrass you on YouTube. We build some crazy stuff. I mean, I got some crazy stuff coming up now in my head. I was in the store looking for something. I don't know what I was in there buying, and I saw a small case, and I was like, "Oh shoot, we can put a PC in that." That's literally how it all comes back together. You can put a PC in anywhere. I can install on the desk, anything you want. As a matter of fact, I got a buddy of mine who just customized this with that whole epoxy thing he puts up there. Oh man, what we could do with that in our technology. I can install a screen on one section and build a micro PC in the other one. That micro ITX boards, my goodness, man, we can install those on the desk with our rear projection technology. You know how insane that's going to look? Mind you, never went to school for any of it. None of the programming, none of the building, the modifications, nothing. It all came from God. Isn't that interesting? I would have a sign up there that says garage sale and end up working and moving into a garage. Is that crazy or what? Ha ha! And this video is like 11 something years old. It's an old video. You see on the far end, that's a server. 2011 motherboard sits in there. i7s when they first came out was in there. Got an i7 there. Now we're going to build a little one. A tiny one. Which is going to be pretty cool because they didn't make these boards back then. Yeah, that whole thing goes in there. Even that glow-in-the-dark paint on the glass with handprints on it. Like someone was trying to get out. This time we have advanced rear projection technology. Oh, the custom Ghost PC. Forgot about this modification. Yeah. This thing was sick. So basically, I built this PC, sunken ship. We had a sunken ship was supposed to be coming in for it. It was a PC that was actually, the whole thing glowed in the dark. So we figured a way how to make glow-in-the-dark UV paint weatherproof. But not only weatherproof, against oil, because you know oil can break down a paint extremely fast. It can, but we figured a way how to make it completely resistant to oil, which means you can make objects glow in the dark under oil with UV lights. Yep. And right there, we got the big boy Steam Boy over there, the big boy over there with the i7, which AKA nickname was called Console Crusher. It was actually designed to crush consoles. That's what it's called. That's later on in the time where I was having to fight back and forth. When that's probably arguing back and forth with console gamers and everything. Well, you can't be a console gamer anymore. If you're a PC, you can actually be both. Literally had that conversation. Like, come on, man, please, seriously, get out of the freaking the treehouse. Enough with that nonsense. You can be both console and basically PC. And them jokers in there freaking out, hey, you can't. Okay, whatever. You know what? Full PC Master Race. That's what I did. I turned full PC Master Race, and I built that machine to crush consoles. You literally had on the LED display it came out. It was called a console crusher. Yep. Then it became, oh, you guys live on the moon with golden mansions. You cry, go, oh, come on, pick a side, for goodness sake. Gee whiz. Anyway, yeah. And I still was gaming on my Dreamcast and my Atari 2600, all my old games back in the day, so whatever. But anyway, yeah, that right there is Steam Boy right there, custom built steampunk PC. That's my server on the vegetable oil, and that's the new one. That whole entire thing glows under that ghost text. See the handprints on it? Oh, it was sicky. It was sicky. And yeah, motherboard was painted. Actually, this little talk right here is about screen paint. It's about basically one of the things I like to do when I'm not designing screen paint is designing and customizing insane looking PCs. So, which means I was doing both at this particular time. I was actually modifying and building PCs and designing screen paint, which I'm about to do now. Over here, actually, I'm already doing it. My fish tank PC right here. I love doing the fish tank PCs. I love them. I love them to death. I'm just hooked on them. So this is my new case I'm designing. This is called my Ghost Case. Ghost Case. It had a volcano in it. A volcano that exploded. So the volcano was halfway filled, right about here, and it was, look at it. It had a freaking Roman sunken city, the whole 9 yards, and everything in there glowed in the dark. Ooh. Look at that. They're frosty people. Look at that. The lights inside are the black lights, and the chemical that you're seeing is. Your naysayers called me stupid one time. How dare you call me stupid? Really? PCs or whatever you want to use it for. So I got a little bit of Atlantis going on over here, and I've got my. Do you have any idea how long that thing took to put together? Every rock glows in the dark. Everything. Even the volcano street would glow in the dark. Paint, the motherboard in the back, all the cables. Everything in there glows in the dark. Volcanoes sit on top of my power supply, which makes some difference because it's going to be submerged in vegetable oil. So this is a bit of a kind of a haunted kind of PC with black lights. Skills. How dare you? Really, how dare you? Very basic PC. This is that's one of the PC graphic card. Boom, 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 512 video card. SATA ATA control card that allowed me to actually override the IDEs and allowed me to allowed me to be able to have SATA hard drives and SATA. Yeah, because when you had older boards, I had to test on something. I was painting this board. So bottom line is that is a Pentium 4 hyperdrive. And the Pentium 4 hyperdrives basically came with onboard video. So if you wanted to add in anything extra to it, then you basically would get a PCI slots, which they have the white ones on the side, and you could run when it had SATA outputs and all that stuff on it. So you can actually override whatever the original hardware to upgrade it with the PCI slots. The DVD-ROM, which I will not be using, is using to actually upload the software onto this. As for the RAM, I got about a gig of RAM in here, and that's basically about it. It's a basic PC just for fun, just to see exactly if I can get away with this. But so far, I've done a few tests, and it came out pretty well. So this is going to be my kind of cool, like. And where is it? Somebody bought it for $3,000. They bought that thing from me. Yep, they liked it. Guy came and was like, oh, shoot. You know, we got done with it. We had a sunken ship in it. And there were guys sitting out there in those skull bones, sitting out there playing cards. It was crazy looking. Yeah, somebody bought it. I was actually selling PCs. So the new one I got, the Icebox, I got an offer for Icebox already. And I haven't even built it yet. These are people who know I used to do this stuff back in the day when I left. Went full time in the screen paint. But Icebox is mine. Icebox is actually my work PC. I'm just basically converting it and taking it out of that case right there. That's why it's all taken apart. I want to build some other ones, some smaller ones, later on. Let me see. Yeah, I was trying to find this thing, man. Oh yeah, that thing was crazy. Yeah, we had black lights installed in and everything. I love when people say, you keep saying way. Me and God. He's the one that taught me all this stuff. That's why I mention God all the time. He's the one that taught me to build all this stuff. Everything. Same thing, building your PCs out of Tupperware. After a while, when you start stripping your machines down, I mean bare bones, strip them down to nothing. Pull all the wires out, everything. Because after a while, you get to the point, I mean, before they came with all these different colors and PCs and lights, PC cases were just basic. It was a basic black case, I would say. You didn't even get a peekaboo door. It was just a basic black case. So you had to build your own modifications like the one behind me. You had to build it yourself. Which means if you wanted different colors, you had to put your own colors in. And that's where you got into the point of stripping and taking apart the entire PC, pulling out all the wires and stuff, and then realize how the whole thing's all put together. And then once you figure that out, you can start building your own cases out of Tupperware or pretty much anything you want because you know how to wire it all in because you take your cases apart. And that's with the peekaboo door. I had a buddy mine who had a machine that was designed, he can lay it down, he can cut a hole right into the peekaboo door. He had a kit steering door, but he had a machine that would cut a hole, a circle hole, and the side of a Dell. And then he would basically go in and sand down all the rough edges. And then that's why I'm switching over to the internet service. Because that's coming on Monday. I want to wait because they got this new upgrade service and I'm going to pay for that. And I was sitting there like, I'm tethering from my phone. Taking so long. I got 5G on my phone. And basically, in the process of tethering my phone to this one, can't use the internet right now, internet's down. But tethering my phone to this one, I'm waiting like, okay, it should have linked by now. And then I look up and realize that the Wi-Fi is still on. The Wi-Fi being still on, it's not going to allow it to tether over. So that's how I can still do my streams at the end of the day. So, doing anything on the internet right now because the internet's down, and also top of that, I'm basically going to be upgrading my package with Team Business package. Instead of paying them any more money, I'm waiting until Monday to go in and go get the new service, which I want. And that's going to allow me to run all my machines with no problem because we're going to be using a lot of freaking data, like a lot of it. Again, so yeah, I need to have my own dedicated line. They have unlimited here, but I'd rather prefer basically unlimited if you're wanting. Most people in here are running like one PC, that's basically about it. Maybe two. I got a lot of equipment, so I'd rather just pay for my own at the end of the day. I don't like to put a burden on anyway. Even though they say it's okay, still, I feel better, especially when I have my own, because if anything happens and the service goes down, at least I told you that whole thing about feeding out of one cup. At the end of the day, you have your own dedicated line, and that's what I'm going to be doing on Monday. Getting the new service put in. Woo! And the modem is bigger too on top of that. It allowed me to run all my stuff. I don't want to get too many lines for hard lines for that one. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to finish this one this month. This is going to be the Deep Freeze. Oh, that's a good name for it, Deep Freeze. I'm thinking of names as we go along. That should be finished. And then and I'll be buying parts in between that for the i9. I'm going to be working on the Deep 6. Ocean Deep 6 will be the next one. The retro PC behind me, it's already done. I'm just adding parts to it. So I just ordered 3 more fans for it. So it's the only thing I'm missing out of this. On this side, we're supposed to have some fans over there. So we're adding some fans to that. That graphic card's definitely coming out. That's going to be a 1660 graphic card. It's going to be much bigger, so now we don't have to worry about that power supply ATX outlet being in the way. And then up top, everything's running nice here, but we're going to add in some more fans up here. So I want to add in 2 more fans up here for intake to push more air out. And then we're going to basically finish the paint job, because this paint job is not done. We're still not done all this. It has another couple of layers to go on this. Then once all that's done, we got some really cool stickers we're going to put back here for the design, and a nice little pipe system that's going to go back here, over top here, back through here. It's going to look pretty cool. And then we're going to run a nice EL wire in between all of this, and that's going to allow all this to pop. Yeah, it's going to run all inside. So all that's going to be traced in with the EL wire. We got glow in the dark. So we got the RGB lights for the heat spreaders, because I got those coming in for that. And I got one I'm actually going to be adding over there to the our blah 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 blah. I can't think of the name right now. Doc, really seriously, it's a loss of words on the parts. Our graphic card. So yeah, that's where I'm done with this. And then we got little action figures and stuff to put in there, which is going to be really cool when we get done with that. So we're going to be doing that. That's just a good job. That's what you used to do. application paint job. That's what easy to do. And the bills are pretty fast too now, since they make the parts a lot more easier to be snapping here and there. So that's all Gucci and great. All right, people. I'm going to cut this short, because I do want to keep this short. The only time we're basically going to have long ones is when we're basically, an hour for me is short when I'm building something, because building something, I have to assemble this and put that together and that together. And I am going to get a better stand so I can have it up high, so when I put this up together, you can actually see everything from there. I literally need to start a section on talking about what is it now, naysayer, because literally we know the naysayer is going to be like, oh, you can't do this, and you can't do that, that's impossible, you can't do it, you can't. Oh my goodness, you know what you guys are? You guys must work for those, what do you call those, community centers for homes? They tell you what and what you can't do. The board of directors on those, like, community homes, that's pretty much the word for you, the board of directors. They literally sit there all day long. You can't do with stuff that you paid for yourself. And they'll tell you, kind of put a basketball court out there, it's the facing the property, you can't do this, you can't do that. Gated community, that's what's called, gated community. You guys, that's what you guys are. You're hated, you know that, right? Like, you're seriously hated among those communities. These are people walking around with a freaking clipboard, you know what I mean, minding everybody else's business, worrying about what you have in your backyard at the end of the day. I don't even know why people even move into those places to begin with. I could never do that. You mean to tell me I paid for my unit at the end of the day? I paid for this. You're going to tell me I had too many cars in my driveway? And these people will literally walk up on your property and tell you, oh, you got too many cars in your driveway. I couldn't be in that kind of environment. Why would you even move here to begin with? Who cares? I mean, I'd rather live in the Badlands and have somebody tell me what I can't do. In the Badlands, I can do whatever I want down there. But Jeebus Louise, man, there's no way in the world I would be going through that crap at the end of the day. I ain't got that kind of patience. But, you know, that's where the Karens got to have a place to live. The Karens and the naysayers have to have a place to live. I bump into so many Karens on his pizza party for kids. Pizza party. And of course, you got to have some jerk come and tell me, oh, pizza's bad for kids. So I feel sorry for your kids. Because your kids are the ones that come to school. They're the ones we hook up with junk food. So you know, from the door. They're getting junk food. They're getting it from us. That's where they're getting it from. Yeah, they're getting junk food. You can't deprive your kids from junk food. They're going to eat junk food. Either way, they're going to get it. And come to school and they can't get it. Some other kid's going to supply it for them. They can't get a video game. Some other kid's going to supply it for them. That's how it's been from day one. You think that nigga cut your kids off from sweets? I know a kid like that. He was not allowed to have sweets. I'm like, good gracious, are you freaking kidding me? Just make them brush their teeth when they get done. Kids been eating candy for decades, man. And you don't come in with these freaking Nazi regime rules at the end of the day. This is why they grow up to hate you. There you go. And no, one kid talking about, oh, my mother is fantastic. We don't allowed to have sugar. No, we used to give him sugar. Watch that sucker's head explode, man. Freaking Snickers, Almond Joys, all that stuff. I have plenty of sugar. My family has sugar. All kids have sugar. They don't go out for Halloween. I never knew people like this that did not allow their kids to have any sugar. You know when they become adults, what happens, right? They indulge in it. They become addicted to this stuff because they're not used to being monitored with this stuff. You have to give it to them slowly. They are adults. They'll eat whatever the freak they want. I like this kid, I remember when I was coming back from a hockey game. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we were downtown playing some hockey. And usually when we're skating around, it's a bunch of people. So it ain't like we're in an arena where it's actually monitors. There's a bunch of people just meet together to play hockey on the street. But anyway, it's Saturday and I'm skating home. And it's this kid on a skateboard with a slice of chocolate cake in his hand. He's just eating this chocolate cake and skating. And it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm thinking maybe he's high or something. And he tells me his story after get to talking. He tells me he grew up in a really strict household. He was not allowed to have sugar. He wasn't even allowed to use his skateboard. He had to sneak to use his skateboard. And then he said he had to be in bed at 6 o'clock. Really? I had kids. As long as you was in front of the door when the lights were on, you could stay as late as you want. We got to like 11 o'clock. As long as you were in front of the door when the lights came on, because that was the rule, you were good because your parents could see you from there. But man, strict rules, man, strict rules. And I was up there like, so what's going on with this? He said, well, I was in the dorm. I was just about to go to sleep at 6 o'clock. And I remember, I'm an adult. I can do what I want to do. And I went down to the cafeteria, got me a slice of chocolate cake, grabbed my skateboard, and came out here and started skating. I was like, enjoy, brother man. Enjoy. Yeah. It's crazy. At the end of the day, them naysayers are the same people that have be over at the board of directors and freaking that kind of stuff. They enjoy that because they like to have that thing, they like to reinforce their authority on you, and they telling you what and what you can't do. They love it when newcomers come in. Newcomers come in, oh, that's another person. We just gonna get them in line like the rest of them. I should move into one of those places just to annoy people. I really started thinking about it just to annoy people. What's the worst you can do to me? You can't take me to court for basically putting a basketball court. Don't find me. You can't find me either. At all, period. Ain't really much you can do. You just got to buy me out. You're gonna buy me out. You're gonna buy me out for more than I paid my house for. So you're gonna pay me a lot of money to leave. That's what you'll do. So yeah, that's crazy, man. I had a few people tell me I lived in places like that. Like, why would you move there? People who like rules and regulations and all that stuff, it's okay. When you get it to a point where it feels like you're basically being in a controlled environment, it's no longer fun anymore. Why would you want to be in an environment like that? You can't have a basketball court outside your house. It's called defacing your property. All the houses have to be painted the same. Who was the other guy? The other guy had a boat. He had a boat in his driveway. I like how he got back at him with too. And they had all people got together and had a little petition to have him remove his boat out of his own driveway. Can you imagine how sound that sounds? If I even would have got a letter like that at the end of the day, I had better not catch you on the street. I found out you signed a petition that to take my boat that I paid for out of my driveway because you find it an eyesore. I better not catch you on the street. That's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. That's his property. What's the point of saying that I own the house when I can have people petition to take what I had from my own house? That's what I said. That's bull crap at the end of the day. That's bull at the end of the day. It's none of your business at the end of the day what I have on. As long as I got a nuclear power plant back there, I'm not doing anything like firing guns or doing something that could endanger other people, I can see about that. But other than having a boat in my driveway, so this guy was pretty smart. He got the last laugh. They said he had to put a fence out there around his boat. So what he did was he put a fence around his boat, but he actually painted his boat on the fence. That's the neighbor I need at the end of the day. That's the kind of neighbor I want at the end of the day. He literally painted his boat, the same boat that they call an eyesore, he painted it on a fence around his boat, his actual boat. So how you going to complain about that? You're still going to see the boat regardless. Can't tell him to remove the fence. You told him to put a fence around the boat so they don't have to see it. But now you got to see it every day because he got his boat painted on a fence. I like people like that. There you go. That's how you do it. You're not invited to any of the parties. I don't want to go to any of the parties. Why would I even go? I couldn't imagine that. I literally could not imagine that. I don't think I ever had a Karen before. I've never ever had a Karen ever in my entire life. I've never had one ever. They know to stay far away from me. I've never had one. Oh wait, I forgot. We got the trolls. They're Karens. We had those Karens. That's basically about it. But I never had a face-to-face Karen. Never met one. Never had one. We had one in the apartment. She stayed far away from me, but she kind of messed with the people across from me. She messed with them, but I see her in the hallway. I see her husband in the hallway. I give them that look like, go about your business, mind your business, and bye-bye. She go about her business. That's it. Yeah. That was the funniest thing ever, man. I saw her and her husband. And her son, they all look like they were part about that life. Look at me when I come out. I'm playing my opera music. And I come out and hear it. When I open up the door, I can hear my music playing because the people upstairs, I'm music playing, they're getting on my nerves. I play my opera music. And I know they heard my music. And I came out. And they saw me, and I'm looking at them like, don't even think about it. Don't even talk about it. Don't think about it. Go about your merry way. That's it. The best way we can get along in this building is you go someplace else. Because I knew they were Karens. Everybody told me they were Karens in the building. I knew. Don't even come up here. Don't even have this conversation with me. You go. And that's it. And every so once in a while in the hallway, they say hello to me, and that was it. That's it. I say hello back to them. That's it. They'll play with people that they know they can get away with, and other people they will not touch with a 10-foot pole. That's how Karens are. And then sometimes they end up doing too much, end up trying the wrong people, and the wrong people end up showing like, look, this is how life actually works in the real world. Oh my goodness. Self-entitlement. Some of them got that self-entitlement. The worst ones are the ones that are racist. Those are the worst ones. You got ones that just mind everybody's business. They don't care what color you are. But then you got the ones that are racist. You're going to tell somebody that lives in an apartment building with you that show ID. Yeah, okay. And you know, it always backfires, right? They end up getting evicted from the building. They end up losing their place at the end of the day. It gets people record you. People have cameras in their hands. It records you being racist because you feel that they shouldn't be. You want to make sure if a black person's in the building or any other race is in the building that's not your kind, that they don't have a right to be there because either they don't make enough money. At the end of the day, they can't afford it. So you're not. You got to be security and tell them where they can't go. There's a woman that did that to a young black man who lived in the apartment. He made more money than she did. He didn't flash that in her face. He didn't say, I make more than you do. He said, no, I live here. It's none of your business. Get out of my face. And she recorded him, called the cops on him and everything. Made a whole big scenery of it. And then the apartment complex found out about it, and she got evicted. Because, again, they're not going to support racism. You know how bad that would make a name for them at the end of the day, that, oh, we support this nonsense? Yeah, they have a lot of problems after that. So she got evicted from the place that she was trying to do to somebody else. She deserved it too. And then keep in mind, it's a trickle effect. Because then it goes all over social media and it blows up. And if it goes viral, it gets even worse because now her job will find out about it. And they go, well, guess what? We can't have you working here because we can't have this nonsense at the end of the day. So bye-bye. Lose your job too. And then guess what? You're in a bonus. All because you couldn't mind your own business. Right? Right. It's like when we got people at the end of the day that just could not seem to understand that my product's better than theirs, and they just had to do dumb stuff, which now, again, I got to take them to court, and unfortunately, I got to sue these people, and some of them are going to jail for a long time. Some are never getting out. So you lost your freedom, you lost your livelihood, you're probably going to lose your family in the process, probably end up with a divorce in the process, and all for pain. Yeah, the word for it's called doing too much. All right. I'm going to be building me some crazy PCs. I can't wait to take them apart. The motherboard comes in through the one over there. My work PC, which is funny because I was working on the work PC and somebody stated, you know who, said that it caught on fire. Yeah. Anybody see any smoke in the video? I went back and checked multiple times. I didn't see any smoke or whatever. And he also stated that, what he said the other day? A PC was garbage or something like that. He said at the end of the day, yeah. I'd like to see your build at the end of the day. It's probably some old white PC with a matrix dot printer on it, old cassette data tape on it. Probably got a floppy drive in it. That's his PC at the end of the day. I'm getting a Dell. Remember that commercial? I'm getting a Dell. Dude, I'm getting a Dell. I'm getting a Dell. Man, you got a Dell. Old one with a freaking floppy drive in it and data tape. Got a dot matrix. You ever hear of a dot matrix printer? Gee, and things are annoying. Yeah, got the little dots that pop up. You get the huge. You make a huge banner like "Happy Birthday, Mom." I remember that when I was in school. You can make a banner with them babies. They would print out this huge, massive, long banner. Yep. All right, people. I am going to go take my normal walk in the park and just relax. I'm going to think about all the crazy stuff I want to build. New motherboard will be here on Monday, so I get a chance to show the new motherboard for my baby over. My blue board coming in pretty soon for the new blue PC we're going to be building pretty soon, which is sitting over there, waiting to be reconstructed. Take all that out of there. Motherboard definitely has to, because again, like I said, parts we got to put in there, the Dell would not accept them, so the motherboard has to be changed. So new motherboard came in. We had to change out the RAM because of the whole DIMM slot situation, so they had to go. And then power supply definitely has to be taken out because again, we need a much bigger power supply. On top of that, it's not enough no ports for the power supply. You got only 2 SATAs on there and one for a hard disk, and that's it. That's all you have on there. There's no Molexes and nothing on there. So yeah, there's only 240 watts. So we're gonna do it 240 watts. Ain't gonna run jack. Just only this. That's all it runs. Optical drive we took off because we don't use optical drives. And let me see. Liquid cooling system. So that fan's got to come off. And get rid of the fan for this system's coming off. And And the hard drive is good because there's 2 terabytes on it. So we run any big hard drives on this. It's just a gaming slash work PC. That's pretty much what it is. I got a Steam account on here. I got a lot of games on the system. That's why. And definitely the graphic card is going to come out. So I'm getting 2 of the 1666 graphic cards for this one and that one over there. So these cards are coming out anyway. One of them I'm going to stick into the micro PC, which is Deep 6, Ocean Deep 6. And the other one I'm hooking to an open case, a torture rack system. So we can do some modifications on the Dell board to figure out how to get around that whole problem with not putting in other parts at the end of the day. I mean, you can put other parts in. You can put maybe your new graphic card in, swap out power supply, put in new RAM, change out the CPU. But if you touch anything involving that fan system over there, you're going to have all kinds of problems pop up. And or if you change out the switches is another issue too. If you change out your switches, there's a problem with that too. So got to figure out getting BIOS and be able to disable all that. So basically the board just doesn't read it at all, period. We got to trick the board. And that's what we plan to do. Because if we trick the board, this makes life a little easier for me. Because when I go to the Dell that has all the goodies in it, I mean, I can liquid cool it, which I want to. That'd be nice. And it has an extra slot in it, which means I can basically run an adapter or a card into it to run into solid state drive sticks. There, I'm gonna drop them there. That's all one that had. I put 4 of them in there, but they designed that for people with older boards if you want to run that particular hard drive. And then we're going to run a test when we finish the Ocean Deep 6, which is the name of the submarine I'm going to have in there. When we finish that, there's going to be something special in there, really special, very interesting, different than anyone else's PC they ever built in their entire life. Something completely special. So it's never been done before. Look at all the naysayers just sitting there. I gotta figure out what it is. I gotta figure out what it is. I can tell the world. I can destroy his surprise. You really even think that way at the end of the day. That's pretty sad. You know that, right? That you constantly are just think. I live rent free in your head, rent free, and y'all had. Because at the end of the day, you're not doing anything productive. I'm here building PCs and just modifying new screens and stuff and building new technology. We got this freaking projector, interactive technology. We're waiting for that projector to come in pretty soon. Getting that done. Your contracts are popping up for the company, and all you're doing is, I got to figure a way how to destroy him. How to destroy him. It ain't gonna happen cheap at all, period. I've been hearing that same nonsense. Let me tell you something to you little naysayers and little haters at the end of the day. I've been hearing that speech since the day I stepped on YouTube and started showing off my products. From that day, from that long, I've been hearing you guys. This has been the same thing. It's the same thing. When we crush you and move on, it'll be somebody else. We'll crush them and move on, it'll be somebody else. This record's been playing for a very long time. The only problem is you just haven't been able to change the music. It's been the same. And it's always going to be the same. It's just never going to change. That's all to it. You can't remove me. You can't destroy me. You can't take anything from me. It's just not going to happen, period, at all. No matter how much you wish among a star, you sit there with your pigtails and your footy pajamas on and stick your head out the window. You're just going to pray to God, the same God at the end of the day that blessed me with all this technology, who gave me all this advancement. At the end of the day, you're going to pray to Him to take something from me that He blessed me to have. Good luck on that one. That's never going to happen either. You're going to curse yourself. That's what's going to happen. You're going to wake up somebody else that you don't want to wake up, and you're going to curse yourself. You know, the only reason why you're still breathing, you're still alive on this earth, is because God allows you to be on this earth. That's the only reason why. That's it. That's the only reason why. The reason why your heart's still pumping blood, the reason why your brain is still functioning, the reason why you haven't had a heart attack, stroke, or any of the weird things that could happen to you at the end of the day, I don't wish on you, because if I did, that means basically I'm praying to my Lord and Savior, who basically, at the end of the day, is a forgiving God to basically hurt somebody. I don't do that stuff at the end of the day. That's what He does at the end of the day. If you do something you're not supposed to do, you want to serve the devil, all he has to do is sit there and say, okay, well, you know what? You want to play with that thing at the end of the day? Go ahead. And basically just turn his back to you, and Satan will have free on you, and you'll have all kinds of problems coming your way. And God is the creator of all things. If He decides at the end of the day, you just stop breathing, your heart stop working, He can just do that, just like that, and you're gone. That's it. Just like that, you're gone. So the fact that you can get up every single morning and take a breath and walk down your stairs, get on your computer and spread your hatred and lies at the end of the day, God is having mercy on you, because it didn't have to go down that way at all, period. You can start breathing just like that. You better learn to fear God at the end of the day. That's the problem, is you have no fear of God. That's why you do what you do, because you have no fear of God. Keep playing around with the devil, you better pray that the Lord basically does not turn his back to you, because you're going to have a problem at the end of the day, a big problem. Now, I'm not going to be your biggest problem at the end of the day. The fact that you're going to have that thing at the end of the day hunting you, yeah, your life's going to get really bad really quick. Nothing bad's going to happen to us because we serve God. Yes, we do. And I make sure that when I do stuff at the end of the day, I pray in his hands first, and he tells me how to do it. That's what I do. That's what I do. How's the right way to handle this, Lord? How should I go about this? We're supposed to have a package going out tomorrow, right? We do have a package going out tomorrow. Ugh. It's in my camera right next to them. You're lucky this ain't Old Testament. You get a lot of people dropping. You ever read Old Testament? Man, God did not play around. He did not have no mercy for man. He was done mercy, but yeah, you called him out, man. You got it. That's it. Good thing people say, oh, God's not a merciful God. Oh, really? Because all the death and destruction on the planet, that's your fault. How's that his fault then today? There's one option, one freaking thing to do. Don't eat from a tree. That's it. You brought it on yourself. I love that when I hear that all the time. When I hear people blame the worst things that happen in this world on God. Oh, it's God's fault. It's God's fault. No, it's your fault. You had paradise. Well, Adam and Eve had paradise. Paradise. But man still has the same way of thinking. The same way they were thinking, we still think the same way. The same way. Nothing's changed. So you have paradise. Everything you want. No death, no destruction, no disease, nothing at all. Immortality. Advanced intelligence. You are modified superhumans. One thing they ask you to do. He asked you to do. Don't eat from the tree. Anything you want. That woman messed that up right there. You already know that from the door. I get in arguments with women all the time, and they say, oh, no, you're wrong. Oh, no. I understand women are going to upset by what I say here, but you know it's true. Man was made first. That's why your name is woman. You're made from me, or us, or men at the end of the day. God took the rib of Adam and made you. You were made from the dust, because God felt in the day that, man needed a companion, and he made woman. That's where you came in at. But, serpent, and this is why snakes are cursed. People own snakes. You're not going to like this at the end of the day, but you have a cursed animal in your home. Snakes are cursed animals. The reason why the snake is cursed, at one point snakes used to walk upright, which means they didn't crawl on their bellies. They walked upright. So you can see them face to face. Can you imagine that? An anaconda 30 feet tall, standing upright. That'd be some freaking nonsense, wouldn't it? That'd be crazy at the end of the day. But anyway, snakes stood upright when they walked. Cobras stand upright, but I'm talking about they stood upright. Cobras still don't stand upright. Not the way they're supposed to back then. And devil was looking for some way, or Satan was looking for some way to get into this Garden of Eden to basically cause the fall of man. And he searched all the different animals that would let him take over their body so he can get access, because no way he can get in. They had to go through somebody else. And the snake agreed to let him in. So he took the form of a snake and came into the Garden of Eden. It didn't say what kind of fruit it was. It just was a fruit. People say it's an apple. It doesn't say in the Bible what it is. It says it was a fruit. The fruit of knowledge. And snake tried it. Didn't figure he wasn't going to be to get Adam at all. So he went toward Eve. And Eve was curious about this tree. And he knew she was curious about this tree. And he basically went in and used that curiosity to get access to the tree to have her eat from this fruit. Which she did. And then she coerced Adam to eat from it also. Adam could have sat there and said, no, I'm not eating from that tree. The Lord just said, don't eat from the tree. But he ate from the tree too. So Eve was cursed. Now, when the Lord came back into the garden, God came back to the garden, they hid. And the Lord said, why are you hiding? And they said, oh, because we're naked. You don't want us, we don't want you to see us. And he says, who told you you were naked? Yeah, how would you know this if you didn't eat from the tree? And he knew. So right there and then, God could have destroyed man right there on the spot. He said, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I provide everything for you. Just like you provide everything for your kids, you give them everything they want, you take care of them, you watch over them, and then they do stuff at the end of the day that disappoint you. You go, oh, I got to take this away, I got to punish you. Just imagine if God decided. He did punish man, but imagine if he decided to go, he's a supreme being. At the end of the day, he doesn't need us. Why do people think at the end of the day that God needs us? He don't need us. He doesn't wipe all of us clean, get a whole bunch of people to worship him at the end of the day. He don't need us at the end of the day. Just get rid of us. We can go and make more people. He's God. But he decided to curse us. So we got cursed. So women will bear their children in pain, and man will work by the sweat of his brow. That's why it says in the Bible about toiling in the sun, I like toiling in the sun. Toiling in the sun basically talks about basically how man works all day long to provide for another, which means that basically you neglect God to get the things of this earth, that you will die, leave them here, and somebody else will take them. Work by the sweat of your brow to give to another. That's interesting about that. But anyway, yeah. And they were locked out of the paradise. They were thrown off into the world. And then that's where death and destruction came upon the earth. Disease, death, destruction, wars, all that, what the devil wanted. He needed something at the end of the day. But he's going to build an army to go against God. He needed something. So that's where he ended up on the earth. So next time you sit there and blame God for something bad that happened, no. Hey, we caused that one. We made that possible. And snakes were cursed too. A snake was taught in the day that he would crawl on its belly and eat the primal dust of the earth. And snakes are cursed animals. That's why my mother never allowed us to ever have a snake. Ever. And I never dated anybody with a snake. If you had a pet snake, at the end of the day, I stayed far away from you. Because it's a cursed animal. Remember, Satan himself was able to take over use the vessel of a snake to cause the fall of man. Now, in all that, God had mercy. God could have sat there and said, you know what, I'm just going to destroy man, done with it, because they don't listen, they're hard-headed, they're very hard, but God loves us. So he just cursed us instead. I'll take the curse any day, from basically a total annihilation, not being here at all, period, because that means I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, nobody would be here at all, period. There's somebody else in your spot. You don't need to be here. And then man was destroyed again in Noah. Same thing, carrying on and acting up, doing what they want to, not listening, not obeying. Okay, you don't listen this time? Okay, I'll flood the earth this time. I'll wipe all you out, and I'll keep only a certain select that serve me, and the rest of you can just go. And they all died. Sodom and Gomorrah. Another destruction. God had to come in and tear that down too, on top of that. Great city of God, Sodom and Gomorrah. People wanted to go in there carrying on and acting up, doing whatever they wanted to do. All right, no problem. A nuclear bomb your city. And that's literally what he did. They tested the ashes from Sodom and Gomorrah, the ashes that they found, and they said there's no form of nuclear-powered weapons on the face of the planet that could have caused that mass destruction. We don't have anything that can cause that kind of destruction. Nothing. And they wouldn't have anything back then like that. How would they have that kind of technology? No volcanoes. They tried to chuckle to a volcano. No volcanoes could do that kind of damage. They looked at all that. So what came in and caused all that damage? Some people who don't want to accept the fact of God are going to say, oh, alien life forms. So let me get this straight. Alien life forms popped in around that time, destroyed an entire city, but yet we've never seen them ever again. You would think they would come back, right? I would think they would come back, right? Somebody would have came back. Something. Mothership, maybe something. Nothing. Oh, okay, just wondering. All right then. So they just came back. That particular era wiped out the entire city and whoop, just disappeared. Never came back. They weren't monitoring man or nothing. No flying saucers, no mothership, no Independence Day, nothing pop up. Nothing at all. Nothing flying around out of space. We've been up there. We're in a space station up there. There's nothing out there flying around. Nothing. We're sending radio signals out in outer space to see if something will communicate back with us. Nothing. Mind you, they didn't even have a satellite system to send radio waves out there to talk to alien life forms. They just popped up out of nowhere and wiped out an entire civilization of people and turned everybody just to ash. Yeah. That's like Lot's wife. You know, you're not supposed to turn around and look. The Lord tells you basically, move on, you move on, and don't look behind you. She did. She turned into a pillar of salt. Oh, I like this box. I did a great job on this box. This box is extra boxy. Extra boxy. Anyway, so yeah. Ugh. I'm going to put down PC talk and other talks. I'm going to talk about other things too. I'd like to talk about other things. So just remember that every time you wake up in the morning and you're able to take a nice deep breath, the only reason why you're alive is because God allows you to live. Because remember, you can't defend yourself when you sleep. Like I told people at the end of the day, your house could collapse on you. Gas line can break up, you can have electrical fire, anything can happen to you. Your heart could stop working, anything can happen to you in your sleep. Anything can happen to you. Something could break into your house, all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen. Anything can happen to you. The fact that you wake up the next day, every day, when you see people sit there and you say, hey, how's your day going? I woke up today, didn't I? It's going fantastic. I don't care if I lose my job at the end of the day. I woke up today. I can always get another job. You ain't gonna get another life. Can't get another one of those. Once that's going, that's going. So yeah. I woke up. Yeah, people say all the time, yeah, I woke up. That's all that matters. Couldn't care how the day goes. I woke up. Yeah, you gotta wake up. Waking up in the morning is a gift from God. It's a gift. Because you don't have to wake up. And at least every day you wake up, you get a chance to be saved. People don't like to hear that. We get people leave the room because they don't like to hear that word, be saved. Well, hey, at the end of the day, you want to burn in the lake of fire all day long? Hey, knock yourself out. That'll be you. But I guarantee you, when your time comes and you're sitting on that deathbed, because we all got to be there sooner or later, we all have to be on that deathbed sooner or later. You're going to have to make the decision, and your brain's going to race, and it's going to sit there and say, am I ready to meet God? All the times you ignored him here on the earth, you had plenty of time. There's no excuses for it. When you meet God and see his face, it's going to sit there and say, I don't know you. When did you ever, how do I know you? That's a horrible thing to hear. But your other person, you don't want to hear him say, I know you. You don't want the devil over there saying, oh, I know you. I can know you. I know you. I've been waiting all this time to meet you. You don't want to hear that. Nope. Nobody wants to hear that. But some people, unfortunately, will hear that voice. And they will see that face. Where's the labels to this? I literally have labels for this. It's already cut out. Where's my labels? Where's my labels? My labels. Yep. Someone's talking about God and that bothers you at the end of the day, that's the first sign over and the devil's right there in your back pocket. Yep. Because he don't want to hear it either. You don't want to hear anybody talking about the Lord. That's boring to him. They don't want to hear that. They're going to tell you right in the ear too much. Let's go. Let's go. We don't want to hear that. This man's over here talking about God and Jesus Christ. We don't want to hear it today. Let's go. But you remember, you're on borrowed time. You think you're going to get up in the morning and lift weights all you want? I don't care what you do at the end of the day. You're on borrowed time. When it's your time to come home, you're coming home. You have nothing you can do about it. Not a thing. Not a thing. If doctors are over top of you and they're trying to save your life and you get a second chance, that's what I call a second blessing. You get a second chance to come back, you better do something with it. Because very few people get that opportunity. It saddens me when I look at stars, I watch movies and stuff, and I go back and see if these stars are still alive and they passed off this earth. It saddens me to think that hopefully they were saved before they died. But if they weren't saved, then you go someplace else. And there's a place that you go to. You do know that, right? It's not hell. It's purgatory. There's a place that you go until that time comes up. So you will be going to purgatory. You'll be going to an extremely awful place. I mean, beyond awful. You will be tormented in that place until the time comes when we have Armageddon between God and the devil. And when the devil is cast into the lake of fire, so will everybody else sitting in purgatory. So it's just a holding place until you actually go to the next stage of more torment. It speaks about it in the Bible. Talks about basically purgatory. I'm so glad that my Lord did not basically turn his back on me, even though I turned my back on him. I was living in those violent neighborhoods, because at any given time, my life could have been taken. Where's my labels? My labels. I made labels. Labels. Oh, here it is, right here. Labels, labels, labels. See. Excuse me, people. I apologize about that. Yes, I involve God in everything. You know, every time I go out to eat with my family, we went out to, I had an urge for Wendy's yesterday. We go to Wendy's, and I get my food, and I sit down, and I pray over my food. I couldn't care less who's watching at the end of the day. The very money that I got in my pocket came from my Lord, who blessed me to have the company that I have, that blessed me to have amazing customers who and bring people to our door to keep our company going. Oh, that's a blessing from God. So the very food that I buy, what a Christian would I be at the end of the day to sit there and enjoy that food, stuff my face, and not give him thanks? That's disrespectful. Family members, they don't pray. Because you know why? They're embarrassed by what people think. So, you're embarrassed, excuse me, about what people may think about you praying to the Lord who blessed you to have a job and put food on your table and take care of you. You're embarrassed by that. So when the time comes when you need God, and you really, really need God, you know, you can easily say, well, hey, I'm embarrassed by you too. How bad would that be? I couldn't care at the end of the day who's watching. I don't care if the people are laughing. The devil will sit there and laugh at you. You know, the devil sits up there. He can be anybody. Anybody at the end of the day walk through that building and sit there and laugh like, oh, look, he over there praying for his food. That silly Christian. Yeah, I'm praying over my food. There's the devil in there chatting to you right there. You don't know the devil talks to you every day. Yep. God talks to you and the devil talks to you every single day. And they're having a conversation trying to embarrass you. Oh, yeah, I pray over my food. There was a guy, I remember, I can never forget, my ex, she was, we all went out to go get something to eat. I met him later on. We all went to get something to eat. And I watched him at the table pray over his food. Everybody else was eating their food, and he was praying over his food before he ate it. And I asked him, I said, you Christian, man? He's like, yeah, I'm Christian. I said, I watch you pray over your food. He said, yeah, I watch you pray over your food too. I said, yeah, I pray over my food because I give thanks to my Lord for blessing us to have what we have. He said, I pray over my food because I learned the Bible lesson. I used to be one to just eat my food and not give it any grace. And one day, he went to a restaurant with him and his friends, and he prayed over his food. I don't know why. The Lord told him, pray over that food. He prayed over that food. Everybody had the same food. Everybody at the table got sick. And I mean sick. We had to end up in the hospital with an IV drip. Real serious food poisoning. Everybody at the table, he's the only one that didn't get sick. He didn't get sick at all. So I pray over my food. Ever since that day happened, I pray over my food. And when you start praying over your food every day like that, then you start basically wanting to know more about God because that curiosity sparks. You start reading his Bible and start going to church to learn more about the Lord. And actually, no, I'm a Christian. Over a plate of food. Yep. Siree. Yes, Siree. I think we're done with this order right here. This is already done with this one. I'm going to get this one out the door for him. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. It's always a blessing. Yep. So, of course, I'm going to talk about the Lord. You know why? Because on PCs, on computers, you watch me build and put together. Yeah, well, that came from God. Everything. I never went to school for any computers. Ever. Did any? All that stuff came from God. Everything you see me build and put around me, all came from God. Everything. All of this is God. And when the naysayers come in and act like that, that's the devil. That's the devil trying to tell people at the end of the day, oh yeah, he don't know what he's doing. That's the devil doing that. We see you who you are. I don't see you as an angry man sitting up in your apartment or home screaming and yelling into a phone or a computer. I see the devil basically controlling your day. I see all his demons sitting in your house all around, just smiling, looking at you, just waiting for your day of self-destruction to come. That's what I see. And even when you're doubting what I'm saying right now, they're still in there. You invite those things into your house. You invite them around your family, your kids. That's what you do. There's a war going on. You know that, right? There's a war, a spiritual war going on right now. Your soul is up for bid. And when you carry on acting like that, you invite those things into your home. Yep, they'll walk all up and down the street. I look at it this way on how demons, and I've seen demons before, how they see the world. How is that when they walk up and down the street and they're looking at houses, they know which ones are Christians and which ones are not. Because they see the blood of cross on the door. And they go, oh no, we don't go there at all. We don't touch that house at all. They're walking back and forth. Oh, they're all up and down the street. In your neighborhood, everywhere you're at, bus stops, everywhere. When they see a Christian, they see that burning cross on their head. They know never go near that. We see an army of angels behind every Christian when they walk up and down the street. We don't go near that. But when you're not saved, they don't see that cross. They see opportunity. That's what they see. That's how I vision it, how what goes on in the world we don't see. Because if God even gave you the ability to be able to see what really walks around you, boy, I'm telling you, you would not be doing the things you do now. I got a chance to see some of that stuff. Not in its true form, but I did get a chance to see some demons. Oh, yeah. And I do know that they move about us every single day. They do, and so do angels. So with that being said, what's following you? What's watching you at night when you sleep? I know what watches me at night when I sleep to what watches you. Yeah, big question about that, yeah. You do evil things, you invite evil things. That's how it works. God's not going to walk into a place at the end of the day that's unholy. You can't go there. But something else can go there. So just how I see the world that we can't see. I see demons and I see angels. And I see when demons are walking up the street trying to hunt for somebody, to take someone down, something that they want. They'll see a Christian walk by who had that burning cross in his head. They'll go, oh, nope, 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 nope. Not going over there. I'm not touching that. No, no, no. I'm trying to be breathing. I'm not about touching that. They see that army of angels around him, like, no, 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 no. I'm done. No, I'm not going there. But then they see a guy sitting out there. He got no cross, nothing on it. Go, oh, look at this. No cross on his head, nothing. There's no angels around him. There's nothing there. May follow you home. Beautiful thing about babies, they can't touch babies. They can't. Babies pure. Pure soul. Babies don't know the difference between right and wrong. They don't even know evil at all. They don't know nothing. You know that? A baby born, infant child does not know. You start basically being judged the day you know the difference between right and wrong. That's when it comes, when you start knowing definitely. When a child knows the difference between right and wrong, that's when the curse begins. But a baby doesn't know anything. They don't know the difference between right and wrong. Babies can see angels. We can't see them, but they can. Their minds are pure. That's why. You know, I asked that question to my mom one time. I said, if a baby dies, does it go to heaven? She said, yeah, it does go to heaven. Because a baby doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. This is when it starts to develop into this curse world at the end of the day, then it's to see. Then they grow up to be, hopefully they grow up to become Christians, and they usher how people to get into the Lord, but then they come up and grow up to become murderers and everything else under the sun. But if they had the same infant mind that they had, we all had the same infant mind that we had when we started off. As babies, there would be no crime, there would be no destruction, there would be nothing, because we would basically not see that evil. Gotta think deep, people. You gotta think deep. Oh yeah, I could have used this tape. My goodness, we needed this. I had to go out there and get my whatchamacallit today too. My hooks and stuff on my desk. My stuff is falling down. Yep. Even worse, people who know the Bible and you can continue to break God's law. You steal from God. Special place for you. You know what I'm talking about. Fake preachers out there. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. You don't fear God. You're not afraid at the end of the day. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You must be crazy. There is no way in the world I would do something. You haven't seen that is? Who do you think you're messing with at the end of the day? That's the devil pumping your head up, telling you, oh, he ain't gonna kill you. It's not gonna happen. Your plane can go down easy. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? You're flying around in a $1 billion jet that you stole money from him. You know, at the end of the day, planes are very technical machines. Anything can happen. The wing can just pop off. Engine can stop working. All can happen. I would not want to be in a plane, especially if I basically use that money from the church to steal and rip people off just to get it, because you run a high risk. Meet the other one. False prophets trying to announce when the day of God is coming. That's the devil twisting your head up. The devil will take a man of God, twist his brain up if he lets it. If the man of God allows him to do so, and use him to condemn more, so he can have more people in hell with him. Careful, Christians, about who you basically. When you go to church, you don't go to church to serve the preacher. I see people come up in the church and I'm like, oh, the minister this and the minister that and the minister that. Who you worshiping? God and the minister. You're there to serve God at the end of the day. The minister is there to preach the word. That's it. You're worshiping him. Oh, one time I saw a big banner, and you see the minister and his wife on the side of the church. You should not be on the side of the church. That's God's church at the end of the day. How dare you advertise on that church like that? It's not yours. That's God's house, not your house. I say my house. It's not your house. It's God's house. It's nothing to do with you at all, period. You're there to preach the word of the Lord. That's your job. That's it. You're a servant. That's it. For Christians, I see them. And I never could understand, why do they have those seats in the back? And in the front of the church, you got these seats that are standing up really high. Why do you have that? You're just equal to me at the end of the day. I don't care if you went to Bible school. I don't care what you studied at the end of the day. If you've been there, you're equal. We're all equal at the end of the day. No one exalts over another at all, period. So when I see them seats they have in the back, it's kind of like they're sitting up there looking down on you. I don't think they should have those seats in the church at all. Then some of them got the one in the middle for the preacher to sit in. What in the world? Like, who started that? You shouldn't have that at all, period. You're not anything higher than the next man. You're worthy of hell as this man is worthy of hell. There's nothing special at you at the end of the day. God said, don't do that. Don't consider yourself to be more special than anybody else, because no, we were all looked at the same way. I never could understand those seats. I looked at that and my mom was like, why are they sitting in those seats? They're so high up. And some of them sit proud. Yeah, that's a perfect area right there for Satan to basically start messing with you. Give you that kind of puffed up, proud feeling. No, don't do that. It's crazy. And then people lie, they curse in church, and they fight in church, and no, man. They fake healing people and rip people off of their savings and everything, and people, hey, look, you wouldn't get ripped off of your savings if you read the Bible more and you don't follow what's in the book. If he says anything outside that book that ain't right, then guess what? You need to walk out of the church and go someplace else. Some people stay there because they got other friends and family there, and no. If he's saying something at the end of the day that does not agree with that book, it's time to go. Preachers should not be asking for all that money at the end of the day. You don't need that money. God provides everything for you. He don't need all that. Jesus wasn't driving around in fancy cars and flying in fancy jets and all that stuff. They didn't have the technology, but he could have had the best of everything back then. He didn't have all that stuff, did he? And he was God himself. So why did they have it? Why did they need it? He provided everything for Jesus. Jesus starved to death when he was on the earth? No. Did he have not shelter when he came in? He had shelter. So God provided everything he needed. All right then. Then why do you need to have an $8 million mansion, $50,000 cars, $30,000 for suits and all that? Why do you need all that? That money could have went to helping other people out. You have any? You spent $8 million for a mansion. You know how much money that could have went to help other people out that could have needed that money at the end of the day? Don't worry, your day's coming. You don't get your act together and go. Somebody else out. Somebody out there. Somebody out there is freezing. Can't pay their bills. And they don't have food on the table for their kids. You're out there living in some expensive, high-powered mansion, driving a fancy car. You think at the end of the day that you think that you're a holy man. You're nowhere close to it. God don't know you, but the other one does. All right. I think I've got this together quite nicely here. So no, Christians aren't. And then people think, oh, well, Christians are. No. Christians make mistakes. They do. Any Christian that sits here before you says he does not make a mistake, that he must be perfect. And no Christian is perfect. That's virtually impossible. But the thing about being a Christian is the fact that you know that you have committed sin. And when you commit sin, you have to ask for repent. God will forgive you for what you have done as long as you are sincerely serious about forgiveness. If you're just asking for it for the sake of asking for it and you commit to do it over and over again, knowing that you're just going, oh, God's going to forgive me anyway, so I can just sin whatever, as much as I want, that's not good. That's going to definitely land you in some hot water. So don't do that. You have to be sorry about it. Christians start realizing how cursed their bodies are. Because again, like I said, you want to serve God. You want to do everything you can to serve God. You want to be a good Christian to God and be a good servant. And you find out you can't do that. That's virtually impossible, no matter how many times. You know how painful that is for a Christian at the end of the day? To try to do your hardest to serve God, and you keep messing up, and you keep messing up, and God forgives you over and over again. You feel like some days, like, why are you forgiving me? Why don't you just kill me? Because you can't. It's painful because you can't serve him right, and it's very painful. And you think about it, I can't be saved. Like, I mean, come on, how am I going to save you in this body I got here? This body is cursed. And he said, realizing what you are. God says, hey, I know you're going to mess up over and over again. That's why Jesus died on the cross for you, so you can be saved. As long as you know at the end of the day that you're sorry for what you have done, and you really are sorry about it, you will try your hardest every single time. And some people will succeed at some things, but you will fail at other things. And you will succeed at other things, and you will fail at that. You will never be 100%. But don't get the attitude that, oh, I'll do whatever I want because God's going to heal me, going to forgive me anyway. No, then you won't get forgiveness at all, period. And you'll be in a bad situation, so you will not get forgiveness at all. You only get forgiveness if you're serious about getting forgiveness. And you get forgiveness. And you get it. Then God will basically forgive you. And then you'll realize that your body is cursed. That's why Christians are happy when it's time for us to go. When we're on our deathbed, we got a smile on our face. Going home. Going home and to serve God 100%. Without this cursed body at the end of the day, I'm going home. No more destruction, no more disease, no more sadness, no more nothing at all, period. Pure happiness for eternity. Serving the one I wish to serve with all my life. Perfectly to be able to serve him. Best way. I can't wait for my day to come. I can see God's face. Can't wait. Yep. You know, worrying about millions of dollars on the earth, fancy cars, and please, I don't want that at the end of the day. Don't need it. What do I need it for? I'm gonna go home and see Jesus. If I was a rich man, $1 billion rich man, and I'm sitting under my mansion, and the Lord comes to me and says, you have two choices. I can bless you with more money than you've ever had, or you can come home now. Bye. Packing my bags up. Gotta go. Oh, I didn't pack my bags. I didn't need anything. I'm just going. Bye. See ya. Bye. Bye. Gotta go. Yep. See. I don't need that stuff here and there. Bye. I'm going home to see Jesus. I'm done. Ain't nothing on this planet for me. Ain't that right, Taco? We got God, don't we? Yes, we do. There you go. Most people would get terrified by that. Oh my goodness, I'd rather have more riches. I want to be here. Yeah, okay. Knock yourself out with that one. When Jesus had that man came up to Jesus and told him that he had great wealth, and a man of power and great wealth, and that he basically served the Lord, and he worshiped and every Sunday and everything. You know what I mean? He was a true Christian, 100%. Lord said, okay, give up everything you got. Come carry your cross and follow me. And he got sad. He walked away sad because he couldn't give up his great wealth. That great wealth at the end of the day that you put before God is going to be your damnation. Can you have great wealth and have God? Yeah, man. People are rich and they have at the end of the day, but they don't put their money first. They put God first. And if it came to a point where they had to give up their money, you can keep God or give up your money and not have God. Or you can have God. Sorry, I'm trying to figure a way about confusing you at the end of the day. I'm confusing myself. You can have God at the end of the day, but you have to give up your money. You can keep your money, but you have to give up God. A true Christian, rich, will sit there and say that you can have all my money, I'll take God. Because that money don't mean jack at the end of the day. I told you, I went through that. I had to go through a section in my life because my Lord knew how my life was going to end up. I was not a rich man. And the technology we have here is worth a lot of money. That ticket's worth billions of dollars, a lot of money. So he had to get me ready for this stage of my life to not worship money. Because when you worship money, evil things come when you do that. You give devil opportunity to do evil things. So I went through a period of my time of basically putting down my cross for money. And I was a very unhappy and miserable person. And the more things I bought, the more unhappy I became. Nothing could fill the void. Same happiness when I was locked up. I was happier locked up than I was when I was out in the streets. How do you explain that? I had the Lord there. I had none of that distraction, none of the craziness. I was with God in there 24/7, and none of that distraction in there. I was more happier when I was locked up because I was close to God when I was locked up. And I was miss those days, and you start missing being locked up because you were closer to God than being out in this world with all these distractions in your way. And I couldn't figure out how to get back. Even when I got out and I got baptized, I spent with the Lord when I was out there. It was more happier than I had when I was broke and poor and didn't have any money. I was more happier. Now I got money and I'm miserable. Could I have done both? Yeah, I could have done both. I could have basically been living a good life and serving the Lord, but no, I chose the money instead. I neglected God. And I walked away from the church. And I remember coming out there in the corner and I had nice clothes on and sneakers and jewelry and everything, and I see the people coming out of the church and I can feel my heart aching, like longing to be there and not here. But the devil had a hold on me. It was telling me that you can't go there. No, like there's not the way you dress. They're not going to accept you. You're already where you got to be at. We'll buy something. We'll fix this pain at the end of the day. Go buy new TVs, VCRs. Back in the day, VCRs, CD players, all this stuff, sneakers, gaming systems. Boy, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and became more and more depressed because whatever I buy, I just became depressed. I was giving my stuff away. Brothers come in, I was like, you want something at the end of the day, man, just take whatever you want, I don't even care. You don't want it, just take it, I don't care. It could bring me happiness, What brought me happiness was sitting down in front of that church. So eventually I lost everything. The Lord took it all from me because I couldn't, we're children at the end of the day. We can't control ourselves. We can't we don't know what's best for us. So the Lord had to take it all from me. He took everything from me, I lost everything. Mother ended up moving because I got myself in a lot of trouble, I was acting up. And she left, and I ended up on the street, homeless. Now, they say you can use this whatever you want to use it for, because I know the devil works through you, so I'm not bothered with that at all, period, about what you say after this. Or how you contact me about nonsense because you let the devil work through you. You better stop that. Keep it up. I'm telling you. When you use what I say and twist it around when I'm saying it that way, you're just doing the devil's work at the end of the day. And you better pray that the Lord basically is giving you mercy, because if he decides to turn his back on you, then guess what? You're going to see a lot of things you don't want to see. And you're going to be out there running wherever you got to go, screaming and yelling about, save me, Lord, save me. and he's not going to hear you. But that other one, it will hear you crystal clear. You know, sometimes they'll allow you to see it, and you don't want to see it. But anyway, so I lost everything, ended up homeless, ended up going down to Delaware to see some family. They let me sleep on the couch for a while, and I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Losing everything and being, just Lord taking it all from me. Go back to see my family down there. They true blue Christians down there. Get myself back in the word of the Lord. No distractions, just being around Christians all day long, and got my love of the Lord back. Got it all back, everything back. And I came back a stronger and better Christian. And I started on working odd jobs and washing dishes and whatever. Rented room, and I went from room to room to room to room, and made a little more money here. Ended up getting this house that I was in for a bit, and that's where the Lord blessed me to build computers. And I started making more money designing and building computers. Did I let that extra money take over my life? No, God came first because I already went through that already. I've seen it already. Did the computers for a while, left out of that house, ended up moving into another little rented room, left out of that rented room, went to another little rented room, sat over there, still working on my computers a little bit here and there. I was in the neighborhood, and then I left from that place and moved over on Cambria Street, and I was over there, and that's where I got digital and crystal screen paint. That's how I started the company, right over there. And that came from me building my computers, a blessing from the Lord, and ended up selling my monitors, and ended up turning around. It's crazy how all that affected. Sold my monitors, ended up getting a projector because I went to a friend's house. He had a Gears of War set up on his Grey Wolf screen and all that. I'm like, wow, the sides of the screen, I want the same thing. And ended up selling my monitors. Ended up couldn't afford, hit the white wall thinking a projector was going to do all the work, and it came out horrible. I was very upset about that. And I couldn't afford the Grey Wolf. I was tapped out because I spent all this money on this machine for a while. I wish my refunds to come, the money to come in. And he was like, well, they make a free gray screen paint you can make. They got on YouTube called YouTube paint. Same gray and black paint. Same thing that people try to sell. Same thing. But they put something different and make it special, and it's different. So I went to Home Depot to go pick it up, and the guy came back and said, you're 5 years too late. There's certain parts of that green we don't even have it here at all. And I sat there, and if I had listened to what the devil was telling me, the devil was like, just pack it up, we're done. Sell you the projector, just go get yourself another TV. We can sell the projector and take that and just get one TV. We'll be good with that. So our money comes back in and we can get another TV. I would have never been making screen paint at all, period. But the Lord said, no, 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 no. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go pick this up, pick that up, get this, get that, put it in your cart. That's all you need. You're good. So I picked everything up, put it in my cart. And I remember sitting there in the checkout line. I'm thinking like, oh man, what if it doesn't work? And I said, oh, don't doubt me. It'll work. Just what I said. Because I was going to walk out of line and go put the stuff back and sell the projector. And he said, this is what I got to say. And I said, okay, Lord, listen. I'm going to listen. Got there, my buddy drove me back to the house. I mixed everything up just as he told me to mix it up. And I painted it to the wall. And I remember the first thing I saw was Futurama, because that Futurama on Hulu. It popped up and all the colors, everything popped up. It was gorgeous. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is beautiful. I have now my own projection screen paint. I can make as much as I want. I never have to pay for another screen as long as I live. That's what I'm so happy about it. And yeah, I thank and glorify the Lord, gave all the glory for it all. My buddy came in from a party. He came in, he was drunk a little bit. He was like, wow, that looks different from what you had before. He said, you should sell this, man. And that's how it started. I went and got myself a website over at Vistaprint, built the website and all. And I remember I still had my dollar from my first order, and I still have, remember, my first customer. And ever since then, it never stopped. When I finished that paint, it was done. The Lord came up, I woke up, and the Lord said, I got something for you. Gave me the ingredients, I write it all down, I make it. Write the ingredients, write it all down, I make it. By the time before my site opened up, I had somewhere between 36 different formulas of gray paint already made. Already. Making it so fast and so much of it that when we got the contract from overseas, they had to tell us to slow down. We're making too much of it. Because that's how fast that information was processing through my head. And then it just increased. When I saw the Black Diamond technology and I saw their screen at the end of the day, how more advanced it was than ours, the Lord was like, all right, next stage. Here you go. Darker technology. And the Lord blessed me with that information. Next year, nothing seen the Black Diamond had a gunmetal screen. It wasn't actually black. I wanted a black screen to look. So here you go. Digital 4K Crystal Onyx came up. We started developing black technology, engineering that. And now we got FLE technology and all the other stuff we have. So when we see people try to come in and try to take my blessings from me, my blessings, try to do all those things that the devil has been trying to do from day one, we already know what's going to happen to you. We know that nothing's going to happen to us. Our company's going to continue to run. We're going to continue to be blessed to make the money that we make. We're going to be blessed to have all the inventions and ideas and whatever we need in the day. The Lord will provide everything for us. And we know at the end of the day that your death and destruction will come soon. You will pass off this earth. You will end up in the next life if you're not saved. You will end up basically burning in the lake of fire with the devil. No good can come from you. Your products will never be blessed. Everything you have will collapse, fall, and be destroyed. God can't do that shit at the end of the day. He can't. That's why you're watching their businesses fall apart. And even worse, you keep following that demon at the end of the day, you will find yourself locked away. You will find yourself losing everything that you were blessed to have will be taken from you. Everything you have in your home, God has blessed you to have. You can be taken away, including your freedom. And that's the situation they got themselves into. Following the devil, serving him at the end of the day, doing his wicked acts. And now, these people are looking at serious jail time. And copyright is not a joke at the end of the day. I know we talk about a little here and there. It's a very serious charge. Very serious. It carries very serious jail time. Very heavy fines. Some people have hit those copyrights. So that's a very serious matter. So right now, because they wanted to go serve the devil, and again, like I said, we were never affected by anything they did. They're looking at losing their freedom, and freedom is worth more than anything in the world, and they lose their livelihood in the process. They know the difference between right and wrong, right? All right then, you know the right and wrong then. You know what you were doing, 100%. So this is an opportunity for you to find God. And if you don't find God, then the devil will definitely seek you out. He already got you already. He's got you already. You can put God bless all you want, as many times as you want. You're gonna listen to how backwards they sound and how twisted the devil is. You attack a Christian, and then you have a nerve to write on the letter God bless, but your acts are for the devil. Yeah. There you go. So, you'll go to court, and you're just going to have to prove that what you said is real. You have to prove that we gave you permission to touch those copyrights. You have to prove all of that. That you're completely innocent. What's going to happen is you can pray to God all you want. He can't help you in this situation at all. Because you committed these crimes. Just like when I went out and committed the crime to get myself in trouble, I could pray to God all I want. Say, hey, Lord, can you get me out of this situation? Can you make it so that I never have to serve any time and do anything wrong? I had to serve sometime. I had to do something. I did it. I had to do something. Lord can't let that go unpunished. People I hurt in the process of doing what I did, they needed their justice. I'm prayed to the Lord too and said, look, this man did so and so and so, and we need him behind bars. The Lord has to give them their justice. And I know at the end of the day that I have to serve this time. But I also know at the end of the day that I don't want to serve the time that I'm going to be given. Can you give me mercy on this? I know I messed up. I know I made a big mistake. I know I hurt some people. But I do not want to do this time. But I will do time because I have to do time because I committed this crime. And I did my time. It has to be paid. So, just like you attacked me and committed crimes against my company, business, and my family, you have to do this time. Depends on how you do this time. If you do this time basically cursing God, then the devil will come for you. And you don't want that. Or you can take this time to really get saved, become a man of God, and maybe God will basically lessen your time where you won't have to do all that time to begin with. Like I said, it happened to me. So if you're sitting back, those naysayers, and laughing about this, saying, "Oh, just," and just sending me nasty messages, well, that's not going to hurt me in any way whatsoever. It's not going to hurt me at all. It's going to hurt you at the end of the day, because we already know your outcome already. The devil knows your outcome already. God knows your outcome already. Down that line. And every time you do that, you're just basically ignoring the opportunity you have to get your life together for real. Having fancy cars, having a nice home, and making good money is not having your life together. Serving the Lord and being a Christian, a man of God, is having your life together. Because when we die, we're ready for the next life. When you die, you're not. So your life is not together. And that's what the other one hopes you don't do. Get your life together. Alrighty then. Let's see. I gotta go, people. I'm gonna go grab me something to eat, and I'm gonna sit out in the park and check out the squirrels. Let's go sneak up some squirrels. Squirrels, man. Squirrels. Gotta go. Be blessed, people. Be blessed.